Hey guys, we are in the basement. Today we're gonna do part number 8 of the Pac-Man Cabaret restoration. That's right, part number 8. And yes, I am back from Illinois. I hope you guys had a great holiday. And if you guys missed my Arcade Impossible video, that's right, when I was in Illinois, I hooked up with the guys from Arcade Impossible and we picked up a game and it was really a lot of fun. And I filmed the whole thing. So go on my channel and just search for that Arcade Impossible video and watch it, because if you guys missed it, you missed a lot of fun. But anyway, I'm back and we're back on track. And today we're gonna continue working on the Pac-Man Cabaret. And in this video, we're gonna get a lot done actually. We're gonna finish all of the cabinet stuff, you know, all the woodworking. We're gonna paint the cabinet, we're gonna cut a T-molding slot, and pretty much everything that we need to do now before we put the final game together, before we put the vinyl on and all the parts back on, we're gonna handle in this video. And this is gonna be actually the last video in the garage, I think, because it's getting pretty cold, guys. I need to get that game down here. We need to finish up the game down here in the next video. And in the next video, we'll probably do the vinyl and put the whole game together. So I think there's one more video in this series. And also, I did something a little different in this video. You guys tell me if you like it or not. I actually played, you know, like during the fast forward segments I do in my videos where I just kind of fast forward through all the sanding and the painting and the cleaning and all that stuff. Well, in this video, during those segments, instead of listening to the high-pitched, you know, squeal of my sander or whatever, I played some music from my band, The Kill Screens. And actually, the music is all new music. It's all music from our upcoming album. And actually, all this music is available for free at soundcloud.com/thekillscreens. soundcloud.com/thekillscreens. So in this video, you guys are gonna hear a bunch of music and songs from my band, The Kill Screens. Hopefully you guys like that. I thought that made, you know, those fast forward segments a little more interesting than hearing the squeaky sound of my sander or whatever. So anyway, and also, you know, my band, The Kill Screens, has a CD out called a science fiction movie that's on iTunes and Amazon right now. But the music today is from our upcoming album, and it's new stuff. It's all work in progress music, and hopefully you guys like it. You know what? Tell me what you think. Anyway, enough. Let's get in the garage and let's get to work on that Pac-Man Cabaret. All right, guys, it's time to get back to work on the Pac-Man Cabaret. And in the last video, we were applying Bondo. Lots of Bondo, actually, to take care of our new corner. Because you guys remember in the last video, we actually applied this corner right here. We cut off the wood, and we applied a new corner. We Bondoed it. I sanded it. It looks actually really great, really smooth. When we put the vinyl over this, it's going to look perfect. And yes, I'm wearing gloves. It's getting cold out here, guys. I mean, the good news is, we don't have that much more to do in the garage. I could bring the game in and finish it in the house. I plan on applying the vinyl inside the house because I think the cold and the glue on the vinyl is probably not a good combination, so we're probably going to do that inside. What we have left to do out here is I have to finish sanding all the Bondo. I did this side here, it's all smooth. I need to sand the front here, we have Bondo on the bottom, and I also need to sand the Bondo on this side and make it all smooth. Then we're going to clean it off, dust it off, wipe it down, get all of this Bondo dust off of here. Then we need to apply a new T-molding groove right here. We're going to use my router to do that. And then after that, I think we're going to paint all of the black. And then we're going to bring the game in the house and finish it up. We're actually pretty darn close here. So what I'm going to do now, and I'm wondering if I should tape this. I think you guys have seen enough sanding, but I need to sand all this Bondo down. And what I'm doing is this. I'm using a 50 grit. which is pretty coarse. I'm using this first to get all of the chunky chunks of Bondo off, because I did use a lot of Bondo. I have a bad habit of just using tons of Bondo and then sanding a lot. So we're going to use the 50 grit here to get the big chunks off, and then come over it afterwards with an 80 grit, which is right here, and this is 80 grit. And I buy these full sheets because my palm sander uses a quarter of a sheet. So you just buy a full sheet, you fold it twice, you cut it, and then you can use a quarter of a sheet in the palm sander. So why don't I set up the tripod and we'll do a little bit of sanding and then go to the next step. So we're getting close, guys, and yeah, it's cold out here, man. I got this little electric heater here. Yeah, not doing, this isn't doing anything. It's like, it's heating up this area right here, but if you take a step 2 inches away, it's 30 degrees. So yeah, I need one of those propane heaters, man. That propane heater in the Arcade Impossible video, that thing was so dangerous and awesome at the same time. I mean, that thing heated up his garage in like 5 seconds. I need to invest in one of those, I know. But all right, let's set the tripod and let's get some sanding done. Alright guys, we are done sanding, and I got all the Bondo smooth everywhere. Basically, you know, my little test is I take my hand, and if I can feel it, you know, when I'm rubbing it over the Bondo, then I know that I need to keep sanding, and it's pretty much smooth everywhere. If I had to rate my Bondo work on this project here, I'd probably give myself a C or a C minus. I did an okay job. Some of the corners aren't really that sharp. They are better than they were. Am I happy? Yeah, overall, I think I'm okay. I think it's gonna do just fine once we put the vinyl over it, but I think I could have done a better job. But, you know, like I said, it's getting cold here. We gotta just keep moving. The one thing I need to do, though, is that I need to round off this front corner. And this right here, we applied, that's a new piece of wood right there in that front corner, okay? And the original one had a rounded corner in the front, and this one I started to round off with my sander. And all I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna take my belt sander and I'm just gonna use it to round that corner a little bit before we put our T-molding groove in. And I'm thinking I can just kind of eyeball this and it'll just work okay. So I'm just gonna go ahead here and just kind of sand this down a little bit. This stuff is MDF, so it's very easy to just get rid of it. And you can see I gotta be a little careful here, because it's pretty easy to just remove that material. I think I'm gonna use my hand sander there and just kind of finish it off. Okay, you can see I took my sander and I just kind of rounded that off, and actually turned out pretty okay. So, all right, so the next thing we're going to do here is I need to cut the T-molding groove. So let me get my router and let's get all set up for that. All right, guys, so I got my router out. I got the cabinet on its side, and we're going to basically extend this T-molding groove into our new piece of wood around the corner and down a little bit on the bottom here. And I went on Amazon and I got this here. This is a slot. Let me actually show you the packaging here. It is a slotting cutter with 1/4-inch arbor. It's a 9/16, I believe is the depth, okay? And it's a 1/16 inch channel it's going to be cutting. And we're basically going to just stick it in this groove and just continue it down and around. And I'm going to use my router. This is just, you know, cheapo Sears Craftsman router here. And nothing fancy about it. I bought this a long time ago. I've only used it a couple times in my life, and today is going to be one of them. So I'm going to go ahead and put the bit in here. Hopefully I remember how to do this. I haven't used this thing in a long time. And just loosen up the chuck here. Okay, and then we're going to have to adjust the depth of that, but let's tighten this down. And there's a little wrench here. I'm guessing is how I tighten this. Okay. Okay, so let's take a look here. Let's put this guard back on. I'm not really sure. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to adjust our height of this. So it's right in the middle of this piece of wood here, and I should be able to spin this thing. You know, I haven't used this thing in probably 15 years. Okay. I might have to pull the manual out here. Yeah, we're too high. We got to come down. Oh, I see. There's a lock here. Okay, so we got to loosen this. Then we should be able to spin this. Okay, so we're just going to adjust our height till we get it right in our groove, right in the original groove. And that's right there. And then we're going to tighten it down. Okay, so in theory, we should be all set up here. Let's double check. And that goes right in the groove. And then we just continue it right down. Hopefully you guys can see that okay. I'm just kind of double checking the height I have here. And that sure looks pretty good. All right, so I guess that's it. We're gonna do this. And hopefully we have a lot of luck and this works great. So I'm going to plug this in. It's kind of... Alright, you guys ready? A little nervous here. So let me just make sure the camera can kind of pick this up right. So we're just going to kind of start in the original groove and just go down. Look at that, we just blew a fuse. The breaker, I think on this, I've got the heater plugged into this. Huh, hang on a second. All right, guys, we're back. We actually popped the breaker in the garage here. I had to go in the basement and turn it back on. So I turned the heater off. Maybe it just doesn't want to run with the heater in this. I don't know. Let's try this again. Let me kind of get in close here so you guys can kind of see that groove being cut. But you can see, here's the old wood, and here's us going to the new wood, and we're pretty much right on the money. So we're just going to keep going. Okay, we're done here, and I think it looks pretty darn good. It was interesting, as I started going around this corner here, I actually hit some of my nails. Whoops, and hopefully we didn't trash our bit, but we got some nice sparks here. Looks like I lost a little bit of control here around the corner, and this slot is a little fatter here. I think it's going to be just fine, but in general, this is pretty much right on the money. You can't really tell as it goes from the original slot to the new slot. So I think this is going to work absolutely awesome when it comes time to put the new T-molding on. So, all right, so what I'm going to do now is I want to clean up this area, get all this dust up. We need to clean this cabinet off and get it ready for painting. So I'm going to quickly clean up in here, and I'll be right back. All right, guys, one thing I want to point out here before we go away. On the bottom of the cabinet here, I'm missing a leg leveler, okay? No big deal. We're missing one leg leveler, and actually the little hardware that goes in that hole. I have a little threaded plate that we're going to put on there. But I do want to point out, and I don't know what's going on here, but originally there was these pieces of wood on here. There was one here and one there. And I'm guessing it was that way from the factory, so I think I'm going to replace those. And I also want to remove all the original leg levelers, and we're going to replace them. Now, I have new leg levelers on order, and they're not here yet. They'll probably be here tomorrow. So I think for now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to rip the old ones out because they're just rusted pieces of crap. And I also want to get this piece of wood off of here, and we're going to replace that. And I guess this is original. It's a piece of plywood, you know, 3/4 inch, and it's just cut about 2.5 inches wide, and they just put one there and one there. So I guess I should replace it. Yeah, I think we're gonna do that. I'm gonna go to the hardware store and get a piece of wood. We'll just cut it down and nail it on here just like it originally was, because you can see that, you know, it was on there for a long time. I mean, there's a mark there. So we gotta get these old leg levelers off, and sometimes this can be a real bitch, especially the way these are here that are really rusted. And I'm just gonna come in here with my channel locks, and hopefully I can just kind of get on these and just get them off. And then when the new leg levelers show up, oh yeah, oh god, great. So the whole plate came off with it there, if you could see that, and it's just all rotten. So we're gonna have to address this. Crap. I don't think it's gonna be that big of a deal though. So let's put this one to the side here, and let's kind of back up, and I'll kind of show you guys the hole it left there that we're gonna have to fill and then re-drill. So I'll probably just throw a dowel in here, and maybe, and we'll just glue it. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. And then over here, we gotta get the one on the bottom here. You know, these pressboard cabinets just suck, really. You know, plywood is the way to go. So I'm just going to come in here and get this other one out. Hopefully I don't rip this one off. This one actually looks like it might come off. You know, I usually just take my channel locks I tend to replace my leg levelers in all my games, I think. I usually do it when it's in the car. When the game is, you know, when the ass of the game, the bottom of the game is sticking out of the car. That's usually a great time to change the leg levelers. Because it's not often convenient or easy to get the game on its back, like this, or on its side, to get the leg levelers off. Alright, so we got that one off. And let's get the last one off. And just going to come in here with my channel locks and just get it off. And this one also looks like it's just barely hanging on. I think this whole plate's going to come out. Alright, so we're going to have to replace all the little hardware, probably, all 4 of them. Not a big deal, really. And what I usually use, let's see if I can find it. Alright guys, we're back. I actually went to the hardware store and I picked up some new flanges here. And these are pretty much identical to the ones that were on here, so you can see that there. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to screw these on, and it looks like I can do this without actually having to repair these holes, because if you just rotate it a little bit, you can hit all new areas of the wood. So I'm just going to go ahead and just screw these in real quick. And then when my legs show up, my leg levelers, I'll be all ready to throw them on here with these new little, I guess we'll call them flanges or T-nuts. I don't know what exactly, but I'm just going to screw these in. I've had to replace these many times on my cabinets where these are just missing or just plain gone. I'm not really liking that. Trying to get this on here and then get some fresh wood to hit. Looks like that's the spot right there. And then I'm just using little wood screws. Okay. But yeah, this is pretty straightforward. You're just going to screw these on here, and then you can just thread your legs on there, your leg levelers, when you get them. Okay. Alright, so you can see there, we've got a new little threaded leg leveler plate, whatever you want to call it, and I'm going to go ahead and put the other 3 on, and then we'll move on. But pretty simple, just stick it in and screw it in. Alright guys, you can see we got all 4 of the new leg leveler holders, threaded flanges, whatever we want to call them. By the way, these are 3/8 inch, and I just went to the hardware store. They actually had the same exact match, so we've got all the new ones in there. So the last thing I want to do is, originally, there was this kind of like 1x2 or 2.5, whatever it was, kind of like on here, like so. And it's crappy plywood. I don't really know the purpose of it, but my gut here is to replace it. I'm assuming that this was originally on here. And also, I don't have any leg levelers right now. They're in the mail. So I kind of want to put this on here anyway, just to protect the bottom of the cab while we're painting it. So I think we're going to put this on. So I went to the hardware store and I just got some 1x3s. A little wider than was originally on there, but I don't see any issue with that. And I'm just going to go ahead and I'm just going to nail these in here with my nail gun. And then the nails were only in the top and the bottom here, and they were pretty much flush with the leg leveler flanges. So I'm just going to go ahead and just throw these in here. And throw some on the bottom here. And like I said, I don't know if this is original, if this originally had these on here. It sure looks original to me. So we're just going to go ahead and put them back since they were on here when I got it. And we're just going to use some better wood. And then also, like I said, this is going to kind of protect the bottom of the cabinet since I don't have leg levelers on it right now. So when we lift it up to work on it. But yeah, that's kind of ugly, isn't it? I guess it was on there. You know, if it wasn't, if it seems wrong later, I can always yank them off. Definitely not permanent. And I cut these down with my... Now, see, this is interesting here because I'm going to go into where the T-molding groove is on this side. If you can see that. So the T-molding is going to have to stop here. God, I don't really think these were on here originally, were they? This sure seems like something that was added. I just, you know, it looks like it was on here since day one just because of the way the discoloration is of the wood is down here. You know, you could see that this is the virgin wood underneath here, so it really makes me believe that this was here since day one. So I guess we'll just do it. And the T-molding is going to have to just stop here when we wrap around. Now we're out of nails. Alright, I went and got some more nails in here. Okay. So I think that's going to be that, and so now I am going to clean this up a little bit, and we're going to get ready to paint the black. I just want to dust everything off, and then we'll do that and be right back. Alright guys, we got the whole area cleaned up, and what I'm going to do now is I just want to go through and clean the whole cabinet really before we paint it. And I'm just going to take some simple green and paper towel, and I'm just going to wipe everything down because we had a lot of sanding and dust and crap, and we really want to clean the black areas too because we're going to be repainting all of the black, and the black we're talking about is on the inside here and all of this. So I just want to dust all this off and get all the crap off of here just so it's nice and ready and clean for paint, and then we're going to probably clean it again once we put the vinyl on or before we put the vinyl on. But right now, I just want to get all of this dust off of here because I don't want any of this stuff to be interfering with the paint when we paint it. Now, I did already take my blower and I blew everything off. So I blew all the big loose stuff off already. I actually used my leaf blower. I just came through here and just blew everything off, and I blew the hell out of the cabinet. So, but yeah, I'm going to go through right now and we're just going to clean it up with some Simple Green.
I don't believe we don't belong. No one can see what we've got. I don't believe we don't belong. No one can see what we've got. We'll wake up in the morning, right next to me, I feel incomplete.
paint's all clean and dry. I sprayed the heck out of it with Simple Green. I got all the black clean. We don't want to paint dirt when we're doing this. So I'm going to go ahead now and paint all the black. Now the paint I'm using, this can is destroyed, but this is a Satin Rustoleum Oil-based paint. You can get this at Home Depot. I use this all the time for black like this. It works actually really great. So I've got about an eighth of a can here. I hope I have enough, but so we're gonna go through here, and I'm just gonna put a couple thin coats of this stuff on. I'm just painting the black only, and we're just gonna come in here and paint it and let it dry. And this paint takes about 24 hours to dry because it's oil based. So it's gonna come in here. Really mostly concerned with the black that you can see, which is everything up in here. Actually, not a lot of black can be seen on this game. It's mostly up in this area and around the speaker grill. So I'm just really concerned about these areas in particular, because I just want this to look nice and refreshed and new. We don't have to worry too much if we go over the corner here onto where the T-molding goes, because the T-molding will cover that up. So you can be a little sloppy, but don't go crazy. Try to be as neat as you can, and always best to put on lighter coats and then come back and add more after it dries, which I'm going to try to do this time. But we're just kind of painting all the black here. And this is going to look really nice once we put this all back together. And I want to paint up in here. This is where the speaker grill goes. The black on this cabinet is not too bad. It's got some spots. So we're just going to go through here and paint it all and make it look pretty nice. Don't really need to paint that. You're not going to be able to see that. Same thing with this bar, but we'll just go ahead here. And just kind of freshen all this all up. So I want to continue the paint down here, because this down here is our new wood. So you can see I'm getting some paint on the front of the cabinet. That's okay. That's going to be covered by the vinyl. guys, I went through here and I painted the whole cabinet, all the black, and yeah, it looks a little sloppy. Don't worry about it, because this is all going to be covered by the vinyl and the T-molding, so I could be a little sloppy. I didn't really have to mask anything off here, but all the black that's exposed here, I painted all of that. Just kind of checking here with the light on the camera. It was actually kind of hard to see, to be honest, but I think I did a pretty okay job. I painted all the edges back here. I painted the bottom of the cabinet. I painted the top of the cabinet. I did not paint this piece here because it has this riveted name tag there, and I just kind of left it, and it actually looks fine. So I think that we are getting very close to being done here. So once this black dries, I'm pretty much done. It's pretty much then time to put the game together. But I'm just kind of inspecting my work here. And it looks like I could go over that maybe one more time. But really, pretty... it was really hard to see, actually, when I was doing this. Lighting in here isn't the best. I actually have one of those giant... I guess halogen lamps, whatever they are, like the construction worker spotlight, but I need to replace the bulbs in it. Okay, so that looks pretty good. And this stuff looks really shiny now, but when it dries, it's gonna be a nice satin black. And it'll look nice and finished here. And I've put this on before with a roller. Decided to do the paintbrush today because, you know what, there just wasn't a lot of surface area, and really this black here is very subtle on the cabinet. It's just these little, it's almost like trim, you know. So I think we're looking pretty good here. I think once this dries, we're going to be good to go, and then we're going to bring the game into the basement. So I'm just kind of going over this. I think that's the only coat. I kind of put 2 coats on in between here. I put 2 coats on while it was drying, while it was still wet, sorry, and I think it's going to be just fine. All right, so I think that looks pretty good in there. That looks pretty good. So I think that's going to be it maybe for today's video. We're going to let this paint dry. I'm going to bring the game into the basement, and then the next video, we are going to put this game together, and we're going to be done. And we're going to put the vinyl on, and then after the vinyl's on here, we're home free. And so the vinyl and the T-molding needs to go on. Vinyl, I don't think is going to be that big of a deal. I'm not that worried about it. But I think that's going to be happening in the next video. So, all right. Well, our cab's done here, and we're just going to let this dry. And again, next video, I think we're going to wrap it up. I think we've got one more video here, guys, and we're done. So, but I think the cabinet is looking pretty solid and good. I mean, look at that. We got no blown out corners there. We got our new T-molding cut in. We just painted all the black. So we're in good shape, guys. So, all right, that's going to be it for this week's, actually, for this video. I'm probably going to release another video this week wrapping it up, so stay tuned. But I'm going to put this one out here on Sunday, and that's it. So why don't we go back down to the basement? All right, guys, there you have it. That was part number 8 of the Pac-Man Cabaret restoration, and my God, we are almost done. That cabinet, I think, is done. We just now need to put it together, put that vinyl on, and put all the parts back on, and we are done. So I think the next video this week is going to be the last restore video, and we'll probably do a gameplay video afterwards. So anyway, that's it for me, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Check out my podcast, Arcade Outsiders, at arcadeoutsiders.com, and my other podcast, Video Game Outsiders, at videogameoutsiders.com. And again, the music in this video was from my band, The Kill Screens. That was actually new music from our upcoming CD. That music's all available right now for free as a download at soundcloud.com/thekillscreens. those songs are all works in progress. Look for the new CD sometimes next summer. And of course, our existing CD, Science Fiction Movie, is available now on iTunes and Amazon and Spotify and all that crap. So, all right, that's it. We're done. We'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. If you've never subscribed to my channel, now's a great time. Click that subscribe button. Okay, guys, we'll see you next time. Later. Bye.